Hello and welcome to fourth lecture of chapter 3 of our comprehensive machine learning, data science and artificial intelligence course. Here we want to talk about this topic. Previous topic was in lecture 3. The topic was about actually lecture 1, 2, 3. The topic was about list, tuple, dictionary and sets. And last we stopped at this particular point where we did the comparison. Now we want to discuss this topic, that is list comprehension and dictionary comprehension. So first let us start with list comprehension. So a list comprehension is actually just another way of writing for loop, but it has certain so big benefits that many seasoned Python programmers use only list comprehension or dictionary comprehension for their work, and they insist that others also do the same. They say that it is a Pythonic way of writing code where minimal and more readable code should be preferred compared to lengthy code. Not only that, list comprehension and dictionary comprehension, they have one benefit also, that they have very good performance compared to an equivalent for loop. Otherwise, whatever work can be done by a list or dictionary comprehension, that can also be done by a for loop. But for loop will run slow, while this list comprehension or dictionary comprehension, they follow a technique called lazy evaluation, and therefore they have higher performance or they execute very fast. Let us start with list comprehension first. So suppose you are asked that create a list of numbers 0 to 9. Now if you follow the traditional for loop approach, then this is how you will do. First you have to make an empty list numbers which will store these numbers 0 to 9 when you successfully create them. So this is just a placeholder at present, empty list. Okay. Then you use the for loop for I in range 10. Now about the range, I have said that range 10 means from 0 to 9. So last number which is specified in the range, that is not included, and the indexing starts from 0 in Python. So all numbers from 0 to 9. So it says that take numbers from 0 to 9 and in this list go on appending it. So numbers dot append I. We know that to add a new member in a list you have to use the append function. So numbers dot append and then I. So what will happen? First 0 will be appended. For 0 in this 0 is in this range. So 0 will come here, then a comma will come, then 1 it is also in this range. So 1 will be appended. Then the for loop will go on continuing for 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And finally next time when it will try with 10, then 10 is not in this range, because this range means range from 0 to 9. So then this for loop will not be entered. So in that case this portion will be skipped and all these numbers which are in the list or the entire list will be printed. Let us try and you can see that this is what is happening. But ultimately what you are planning to do, here you are trying to create a list only. So remember that whenever you want to create a list, then list comprehension is very useful, because list comprehension as an output gives a list. Okay, so I am giving this a name numbers 1 just to distinguish, so that previous output is not printed once again. So how to write list comprehension, that is what I want to show. That's why I showed the for loop version earlier. So when you want to write list comprehension, then you first just write an empty list, because that is what you want to generate. Then leave some space and write mentally that for loop only, that for I in range 0 to 9, or that means you can write 0 colon 9 also, but I am writing I in range. But what you want to do then, you want to add that list, so that I in this. So I for I in range add, and where that I will go, that I will be added to this list. And what is the name of that list? The name of that list is numbers 1. Let us see if this generates the same output or not. It generates the same output. So this is the trick to write list comprehension. First write the empty list, then mentally write the for loop, and then write the variable which you want to print. Okay, that variable is the same as the variable which you have written in your for loop. Okay, say here there is another example. Here suppose you are asked same range, that is take range 10 or range 0 to 9, that is, and find the squares of each element. So again by for loop it is slightly longer. First you have to instantiate an empty list, so that will become the placeholder for the squares of 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay. So currently it is empty list. Then you take each number one by one from that range. So for x in range 10, so that means take 0 and square should not append. That means take this list square, whose name is square, and append but this time I will not append x. If I append x only, then I will again get same list as this 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. But I am appending x square. X asterisk 2 means x square, x to the exponent x exponential 2. Okay, so that I am appending. I am taking x 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But I am appending that square 0 square, 1 square, 2 square to this list, and then I am printing that. So if I do that, then you can see that 0 square 0, 1 square 1, 2 square 4, 3 square 9, and so on up to last 9 square is equal to 81. But again, this is lengthy way, and even execution wise this is slower. So what I can do, again I will follow my standard method, that I am asked to create a list of this type. So then first I create an empty list, I leave some space in the beginning, and I start writing mentally for loop only for x in range 9. Okay, so for x in range 9, range 10, sorry, because if you write range 9, then it will be only up to 0 to 8. Okay, so for x in range 10, what you have to do is, now here you don't want to store x. If you just write x for x in range 10, then that will store all those numbers and that will give this, but you want to store the square. So then whatever you want to store, that you write here in your list. So this means take numbers from 0 to 9, but don't store those numbers, instead store their square in this list and assign that list to your variable square. Okay, here also I give this name squares 1 and squares 1 just to distinguish. So then in that case, you can see that this is same list. Similarly, suppose I am asked get even numbers only from that list of numbers 0 to 19. Okay, so now the range will be what? Range 20, because I want to take numbers from 0 to 19. But I want to take only even numbers. So from starting from 0, 1 is not even number, 2 is an even number, 4 is an even number, 6 is an even number. And how to test for even number? If a number is wholly divisible by 2. And how to test that if something is wholly divisible by 2 or not? We have done discussion in previous lecture, so we know that we take its modulo with 2, modulo operator, and that finds the remainder. And if something is wholly divisible, then remainder is 0. So take numbers from this list 0 to 19 and take modulo 2 of each number one by one, and if the answer equals, that is answer perfectly compares with 0, then you will say that remainder is 0 means that number is wholly divisible by 2 or that number is even. Then take that number in your list, otherwise don't take that number. So this is the for loop approach. First again instantiate one empty list placeholder, then for x in the range 20, if x modulo 2 equals 20, sorry, equals 0, so that means if x is wholly divisible by 2, or that means if x is even number, then in the list which you instantiated, append that x. So here we are appending that number itself. We are not appending square of x or something. We just want to find even number. But when will the number be appended? If this condition is met. So this condition will not be met for 1. It will not be met for 3. It will not be met for 5. But if I take 2, then 2 modulo 2. So remainder is 0. 4 modulo 2. So remainder is 0. 6 modulo 2. So the remainder is 0. So all those numbers will be appended here. Okay. And then we will print them. So let us check. And 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, etc. are even number. Now some mathematically some people don't consider 0 as a even number, but that is another matter. Okay. So 0 to 18, these are the even numbers in this range. Now again I want to do the same thing, but instead of writing these 5 lines of code, I want to finish things off in 1 line of code, and also I want better performance. So what I should do is, again I follow my standard method, but this time I will not only add something in the beginning, but I will also add something in the end. So let me show what that something is. So I start with an empty list, then I leave some space in the beginning, then I do my for loop. What my for loop is doing, it is traversing through this list 0 to 19. So I can write for x in range 20. Okay, but do you want to take every x in that range? If you take every x, then it will take all the numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, no, I don't want to take every x. I want to take only even number. So for even number, you have to put some condition. What is the condition? Take x. So I have written that x. So that means I will take x. But I have to put one condition. What is the condition? If x modulo 2 equals 0. So that means take all x in range 20 provided this if condition is satisfied. So obviously now it will not take all numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 19. It will take only those numbers which are even numbers. Okay. So let us try. I will call these evens 2 and I will print them. Okay. So this gives the same result as this. Now you can understand this, and these are very simple pieces of code. But sometimes the operation which you want to do, like here the operation is checking for the modulo, here the operation is squaring. But sometimes the operation which you want to do, that is quite computationally intensive operation. And in that case, instead of doing it by for loop, if you do it by list comprehension or dictionary, if it is dictionary then dictionary comprehension. But currently we are talking about list comprehension. If you do it by list comprehension, then it is done. It is the code is very succinct, and second thing is it is done very quickly. The computational time will be less. Okay, so that is the advantage of list comprehension. It is effortless and compact way to create list, and this is even more readable also. Evens 2 equals this if it is written. So what is this evens 2? It is a list. That is clear from this. Now it is a list of what? It is a list of all x's from selected from where? From x in range 20. Okay, so that means select from 0 to 19. And however, are you selecting all x's? No, select only those x's which satisfy this condition. So that is how clear everything is with this notation. So in next lecture we will do about dictionary comprehension. Thank you.